W list except Heather. I think if I had to move one more up, it would be Heather. Though I really, every time I look at this, I'm like, Lindsay kind of went. You know what? No, I take it back. I think I'd move Lindsay up to GOAT before I'd move Heather up to GOAT. Lindsay was always saying funny shit. Here's the thing. Lindsay and Owen were both dumb, but almost every time Lindsay was dumb, it was fucking hilarious. Owen had better moments and, like, helped his teammates more and shit like that. As, like, a player. He wasn't as dumb as Lindsay. But they were both, like, unbelievably stupid. But every single time Lindsay was stupid, it was funny. Not every time, but most times Lindsay was stupid, it was funny. Personal GOATs are probably Chef Gwen, Lindsay. Can't argue with that. Solid stuff. I'm glad we did this. It almost makes me want to watch Season 2. And become a reaction streamer once again. But it's just simply not the life for me. Is this fun? This was fun. It was fun. I know we get a little heated in our really important tier list discussion. But you know what? Honestly, alright, show of hands. One more time. Show of hands. Who in chat has a huge problem with my list? Even if it's just one person. I'm not going to time you out. I'm not going to ban you. Don't worry. I'm actually going to grab another beer while I wait for you guys to type. No, just quick show of hands. Who's got the problems? Okay. Because if you have, no, don't ban. If you have any problems, if it's really eating at you, you should write your congressman. I don't know why. That's a line that I've been wanting to say more for a long time, and I always forget when the opportunity shows itself. But I love the phrase. If you're ever talking to anybody, it works a lot in video game settings when people get mad at video games. It would work a lot on me because I get mad at video games a lot. And someone starts talking about how the game was bullshit or how something you just did was bullshit. It works with games. It works in any scenario. If you tell somebody, I love the line telling somebody you should write your congressman. What if I'm not an American? I'm not talking to you. I love telling the line. I love saying the line, you should write your congressman. Because it just, like, the idea of writing your congressman is such a serious thing. Like, whatever, something has to be important, like, in the real world for you to want to write your congressman. So that line is just so hilarious and so good at putting whatever you're mad about into perspective. And just reminding you that what you're angry about doesn't fucking matter at all because you would never write your congressman over this shit. I don't know why. That line fucking sends me. Is Shinigami, thank you for 36 months Prime. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. That Persona 3, probably. I'd do a JJK tier list. Maybe next time. I'd be down to do a JJK character tier list. Just based off the anime, though. The manga hasn't really introduced a lot of new characters. What's next on the agenda? I had a bad idea. I had bad ideas. But I had bad ideas that I thought friends would be around for. But I realized earlier tonight I have no friends. Because I even dink-donked in the server and I typed dink-donk, where are my friends at? And nobody fucking answered me. I think Dark Wolfman might be working on a TNT tier list. Oh, God. Y'all don't want to see me make it. No, I can't. In fact, if you guys want to make your own TNT tier list, go for it. I will not make a TNT tier list. I won't do it. Because I'm the booker. I can't just fucking put my favoritism up there. How's the Kirby game? It was fun. I mean, I beat it. I didn't care enough to want to do the post game. But I beat the game. It was, you know, nice little ditty, pass the time. Took care of all that. What do you need to get into TNT? Be sub to this channel. And from being sub to this channel, you get into the Discord. The T-Shot Discord we have. And then once you're in the Discord, preferably own the game WWE 2K 2022. And then you make your character and upload it based on the rules we have. TSRP tier list? I couldn't even do that now if I wanted to. I don't know probably 70% of the people on TSRP. Well, I know the people, but a lot of their characters have changed. Like, they're on new ones or their characters are completely different. So I don't know most of the characters on TSRP anymore. Hopefully that'll change soon. Like I said, we're getting back into it. But as it currently stands, I would not be able to do that. I would have to do like an old head TSRP tier list. Clone High tier list, but if Gandhi isn't GOAT, you get banned. I wouldn't get banned. TSRP like a year ago. TSRP launched a year ago. TSRP actually launched 1 year ago tomorrow. 1 year ago tomorrow, TSRP launched. We went live at 6 p.m. Central Time. And funnily enough, not tomorrow because tomorrow is Easter, but very soon we'll be streaming it again. So, actually, I think they go Thursdays through Sundays now. It's either Sundays or Mondays. So if TSRP will be shut down for a couple of days because we just shut down during the week. So it'll probably be like Thursday, Friday-ish would be about when you can expect me to get back into it. Star Wars Clone Wars, never seen it. Actually, I tried to watch it once, but everyone's like, oh yeah, they just tell it really out of order. And everything's fucked. I get that the Clone Wars series is also good and people have praised it, but at the same time, I'm like, isn't the cartoon just the stuff that wasn't cool enough to show in the movies? I don't know. I think I toyed around with the idea of watching Clone Wars a couple times, but never really got very far into it. Ever try the Star Wars Lego game? Not the new one. I played the old one or two with my brother before. They were fun. Andrew, you never had a character in TNT before, right? You're talking about, or not WWE 2K, I should say. You're talking about Fire Pro. You did have a cool guy in Fire Pro. God, I wish Fire Pro I wish Fire Pro didn't literally fight you, tooth and nail. We could have done some stuff with Fire Pro, but I just could not get any of the characters I wanted to make to work. And it was just so weirdly skewered where if you built your character out the way the game wanted you to, your character with what would have been the equivalent of like a 50 overall would still steamroll characters that had 100 overall. I guess it'd be 5 and 10. You set your stats to 5 and 10, but even still, that was a fucking... That was something else. Hopefully Will comes back. I know he's still kicking. He tweeted me earlier today. Will did. Sure, if somebody reached out to him, it wouldn't be too hard to talk him into it. After that one session where we spent an hour fixing Bean Daddy. Oh my god, I forgot about that. I don't know how I forgot about that, but I forgot about that. And it ended up being like the weirdest shit was wrong with him. Takes you most likely out this year. He's been TSRP 24/7 too, hasn't he? Takesy and Jekko, man, I made something that I lost him to. I still see Takesy roll through and say hey every now and again, but since they really got into TSRP, I just haven't seen fucking Takesy and Jekko anymore. They're just gone. What games you looking forward to this year? The next game I think that was big on my radar coming out was Forspoken. Almost sounds like a Mario Galaxy theme. I'm trying to think of another one. God of War comes out this year, is supposed to. Zelda got backed up, which is okay because I haven't beaten Breath of the Wild 1. I don't remember what else is supposed to come out this year. I think we finally got over the big wave of games that was releasing. Watch Moon Knight? No. I doubt I'll watch Moon Knight anytime soon. I'm in the middle of watching Lilyhammer. Mark, I personally think that as like a one-off, and if you really only interacted with Jekko's character for a moment, it would be funny. And then you logged off and didn't do that ever again. However, if anybody else caught you doing that, and or if Jekko heard you and got mad about it, you'd be in trouble. I think there's a world where you can stealth mission pull that off somehow. But I'm about the only one who'd be cool with it. And I don't let how cool I am with something hold a lot of weight anymore because the admins and other owners are doing a lot more work than I am, so. Sonic and Harry Potter are still scheduled for this game, then are still both scheduled for this year, then yes. Both those I'm excited for. Kind of worried about pissing off Jekko. I don't want to bother me. I mean, if you've been DMing him and he hasn't been answering you, I don't know what more there is. It's not like he's not on Discord. I see him type in the TSRP Discord semi-regularly. I need to see some gameplay for Sonic. I think we all do. Oh, one day when we decide it's all over and we're just not going to stream anymore, I'm pretty sure Dotto and I are both going to pull up our Twitter feeds and we're just going to scroll until porn shows up and we get banned. I'm pretty sure that's the plan. Also, speaking of Dotto, I'm not saying what it is. All I'm saying is that Dotto and I have DM you something about TNT. Yeah, go for it. I probably won't read it till after stream, but yeah. Dotto and I have like 3 different, in our opinions, they're really stupid, but in our opinions, really good ideas for podcasts. Okay? We could be giving you guys weekly podcasts off and on for years to come. Okay? But I haven't talked him into, like, they're funny in ideas, but, like, I haven't fully talked him into pulling the trigger on it yet. I'm trying to get Dotto, and he's basically there, but I'm trying to, if we're lucky, maybe soon. Nothing long, nothing crazy, just some ideas. And we wouldn't do one stream. They probably just... I would actually just upload that to the main channel, I think. Archive those on the main. The old main, the Dragon Ball one. Trust me, these podcasts would be nothing like Beam Struggle. Do not use these podcasts to fill the Beam Struggle void. That would not be their purpose. They would not be good at that. It'd be a stretch to even think of our ideas as real podcasts, but they're like... They'd be good. They'd be stupid, but they'd be good. I remember when there was a podcast. You know what's funny? I always thought of myself as a guy who didn't like podcasts. Up until maybe 2 months ago when I started listening to Bill Burr's podcast, and even now that's the only one I listen to. But I listen to Bill Burr's podcast. Up until 2 months ago, I was always like, yeah, I've never really been a podcast guy. I've never really been into podcasts. And then you see all those jokes on Twitter about how, every white guy in his 20s or 30s has been a part of at least 4 podcasts at this point. And I'm like, aha, that's funny because it's true, but that's also dumb who does that. And then I got to think about it, and I was like, Dcast, Dragon Ball, Beam Struggle, guest on a bunch. I am that guy. I've been in a lot of podcasts. Shit. And, like, none of them were mine inherently. I probably claim the most ownership to Zcast, but... Oh, and I watched the Stone Cold podcast, but that doesn't count. That's wrestling. And I also watch that. I don't even listen to it. I sit down and I watch that. That's a show. If y'all remember the Zcast, you guys are OGs, by the way. Listen to 5. I only turned to podcasts because I got tired of the music I had in rotation. And for some reason, I just hate the idea of looking for new music. Because I know what I like. I'm just waiting on what I like to release more music. I know who I like. I'm just waiting on who I like to release more music. And I was finally like, Bill Burr's fucking hilarious. Let's try this. And so I'll throw that on the background. It sounds like another song. This song sounds like a song that exists that I've heard before. That isn't a Persona song, but it is. You want your vids and stuff on the van? Yeah, it makes sense. It makes that. I wish I would have discovered them sooner for long drives because I do think they help. I got to the point to where for one long drive I did some months ago, I actually put on I threw on a video from the Clement Remembers Final Fantasy series. And I just let that play in the background. Because for the most part, especially because I've seen all those videos at least once before, you don't really need the visuals, right? There's like maybe in an hour-long video, there's like maybe like 2, maybe 3 parts where you need the visuals or where the visuals help. Other than that, you just listen to him talk about Final Fantasy. So I did that for a while. Not for a while, for one trip, but... Allegedly, why are we throwing up? Are you continuing those games? I was playing those. I watched continuing what games? Final Fantasy? I finished every Final Fantasy I started, except 2, and 2 sucked shit. I mean, I played through Final Fantasy 15, beat it, that's not on the LP channel anywhere. I played through the Final Fantasy 7 Remake, beat it, that's not on the LP channel anywhere. I think that was right before I brought Drip on. Played through Final Fantasy 1, beat it. I don't know if that's on the LP channel, actually. I may have told Drip not to bother, I don't remember. But no, I don't plan on playing... Like, if I don't know, I got this weird thing in my head where I'd want to play all of them, but I know 2 is ass, so I'll never turn it on again. And then 3 is better, but it's kind of just 1. If you did 1 over and I already played 1. And then, is it 4 is really good? 5 didn't initially make it to the States for no reason, because Japan had a weird look on America. 6 is goated, and then 7 is when it hits 3D. Uploaded all the titles for TNT. I heard somebody made Arenas, too. We can actually start TNT really soon. Oh, Strangers of Paradise. Shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily done with that if Mom and BB are around. Whenever. I mean, I'd be down to pick back up on that. I don't know how many more streams it'd take for us to beat it, but... I mean, I wonder if 10% has a good Pokemon playlist. Oh, they do. I've clicked on it a couple times. You started Yakuza 0. Alright, we're not going to go down that road. Because if we do the You Started series, that list is never going to end. I would restart Yakuza starting at 0. If I were to do that. Ooh, what about 10% Zelda? This can't suck, right? Emerome Raid. What's going on, M Raiders? How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Hope you all had a good stream. Freddy Fazbear. Is that a spinoff of Five Nights, or is that a different Freddy? Yo, Ed, thank you for the 10 gifted. Appreciate you. Surprised Emerald viewers have any love left to give in the gift sub department. I saw what y'all did to her the other day. Good God. What a community. What up, Ed? Appreciate the 10 gifted. Appreciate you. We were just shooting the shit. You guys just missed. We did a Canadian tier list earlier. It was the Total Drama Island Season 1 tier list. Which technically is a Canadian show. Music is so relaxed. Yeah, it's almost too relaxed. I'm actually not a fan of this. You know what? Let's go to the GOAT. Why, it's the GOAT! Bad idea time? I don't know if I can commit to a bad idea now. Had an incredibly relaxed stream? Nice. Starting Death Stranding? Ooh, have fun, Red Sky. I love that game. Who won? In the GOAT tier, we had Bridget, because Bridget was my fucking girl. Chef. Duncan, Gwen, Lashana. We had a bunch of near GOATs, also. In the top tier area. Oh, wait, no, you were playing a scary game. You did not have a relaxing stream. Hold on. Because I clicked in for a little bit. You were about to start the chaos. Nothing but calm and relaxing, and no one got cooked. Believable. Peace, love, and serenity, my brother. Chat, I was mulling over because I had a bunch of bad ideas for tonight's stream, and now I may be too pussy to pull the trigger on it. That may be the dilemma I ran into. I know what I want to do, but I don't think I have the strength to do it, chap. You understand? You know where I'm coming from? Let's hear it. Chat, you guys talk a big game. Chat, you guys talk a big game. But the minute I tell you this bad idea, you're gonna realize what you're gonna realize what you've done. It's referred to not shaving. Oh yeah, chat, I'm shaving. I hit a mini weight loss goal. I'm not done losing weight yet, but I hit a mini weight loss goal today. I was under 180 pounds for the first time in like 5+ years, probably. And I said I would shave when that happened, and the only reason I haven't shaved yet is because it's Easter tomorrow, and I don't want to scare my family. So I'll probably come back with a stream on Monday, and by then we will be cleaned up. We'll be all cleaned up. I haven't actually shaved since like COVID hit, so. We finna be grazing. We might finna be grazing. Dad, I'll run a poll. It's not a prediction, it's a poll. Rick, thank you for the gift sub. Alright, for 2 minutes this poll's up. Your fate is in your own hands, chap. Your fate is in your own hands. Nice clean cut. Not my head. I'm not shaving my head. I'm shaving my beard. Doing the beard. Gonna take a couple pictures with just the stash because it'll make my brother laugh, and then probably shaving the stash. But I haven't had this wiped off in years, so. We know what we want. How's this looking? We're looking at a 90-10 split. With more votes going into Do It. Do It bounty? Actually, I wasn't going to do it, but I could run a bounty. Thunder, you have a beard? Right, yeah, no, everyone just... Oh, T-shirt doesn't have any fucking beard. He wears black shirts and looks down a lot. There's not a beard over there. Here for a good time, not a long time? Well, then I better run this bounty before you leave. You're here for a good time, not a long time. I suppose I ought to run this bounty before you get out of here. Okay, bounty's ready. And if we look at the poll, oh my god, it's 92% to 8. All right, what we're doing here is we're watching a trailer. Put it up here. I like that.
You ever wonder if the world's not what you think it is? Just chaos all the way.
Looking like death. Oh, is this? I'm not gonna say what this is in case I'm wrong. What is that?
And the world's been waiting for this.
Josh Brolin. It's got Thanos in it. Outer Range, new series. All right, I'm gonna double check real quick to see how long it wanted me to run that bounty. For 1 minute, okay. And pile of shit. And then you have a cord that connected the phone to the wall still. Oh yeah, also landline connection or dial-up connection online was like 56 kilobits KB per second. It eventually upgraded to like 126. I don't know if that was broadband yet or not. We're not talking megabits. We're not talking a single meg. We're talking kilobits. I think it's kilobits. I didn't realize how old Thunder was. Anytime you hear me talk about old stuff, you have to take into account two things. Number one, I might actually be older than you think I am. Number two, I grew up in the Midwest, okay? And the Midwest, at any given moment on almost everything, is anywhere from 10 to 30 years behind modern civilization. So if you live in New York, or you live in somewhere like, you know, in a city in Florida, or if you live in like Austin, Texas, or anywhere in California, really, you are already permanently 10 to 30 years in the future on any given thing compared to the Midwest. And if you ever want to know what the past looked like, just drive a few hours over. Just a heads up. You heard of plumbing? We have plumbing, but if you want a funny story, we just got one Uber driver for our county like 3 years ago. Everybody knows her name. She's the Uber girl. She drives Uber, and I think she also does Uber Eats. I might be wrong on the Uber Eats one. I've never used it. Wait till the Midwest finds out Trump ain't president anymore. You joke, but this is the area that's running the election of 2022 was stolen campaign. Or 2020, whatever, was stolen. Bet that Uber driver could have charged anything and people would have paid. No, the fuck they wouldn't have. Well, maybe when you get the drunks trying to go home at night, but... 29 going on. Oh, the big 3-0. I see you. Are you sure they had WrestleMania 8 in Kansas? They have done it in Wichita. Kansas City is a way bigger wrestling area now. And back then. Kansas City was a bigger spot back then. But would they have done it in Kansas City, Kansas? Or would they just had that in Wichita? Technically speaking, the most populated city in Kansas is Wichita. Because most of Kansas City resides in Missouri. And Kansas City, Kansas is not the draw area for Kansas City. So it goes Wichita and then Kansas City, Kansas, I think, and then Topeka for population. I'll have you know it's actually my upper class Southern extended family running that election. I mean, don't get me wrong, the South's heavily involved too. It's not a one region wrecking crew out here. Remember that one dedicated channel on TV that did nothing but show you what the other TV channels had on? You better hope you caught what you were looking for. You would have had to wait another time. Yeah, so even before then, Alan Shea, the TV company used to send you a literal paper guide. And you didn't know what was coming on next, but it at least showed you what channels there were. But then, yeah, after that, they eventually came out with a channel where... Because there was no guide button back in the day, kids. So what you would do is you would turn it to, it'd be like channel 47 or some shit, and it would be the TV guide channel. And it would sit there and play ads for you on the top half, and then the bottom half, it would slowly cycle through every channel, 1 through 100 or 200 or whatever you had. And it would just show you what was playing for the next 3 hours on every channel. So if you wanted to know what was happening on channel 104, and you turned it on, and the top channel was channel 105, and it was still cycling, you had to wait for it to go around the horn. And God help you, you didn't nod off or go to the bathroom or look away for something. Luckily, most people weren't looking at their phones back then, so you didn't have a lot to look at. But God help you if you were looking away by the time it did go around the horn and you missed it, then you had to wait for it to go around again. But yeah, luckily for me as a kid, I didn't have to deal with that a lot because I was either watching Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. So it's just like, what's on Cartoon Network? Okay, what's on Nickelodeon? Okay, I like this show better. I'll stay here. Play video games? You had to go to channel 3? Oh, shit. That's a throwback. And they still do this today, but there's so many more channels. It's not that big a deal. But back when you had cable and there wasn't a guide button or anything like that, sometimes, like maybe once every 2 years or so, the companies would just change all the channels. The companies would just fuck up all the channels for no reason. So if Cartoon Network used to be on channel 63 and Nickelodeon used to be on channel 47, one day you could wake up, whole different... It's like the TV company would just hit the random button on the channels, and all the channels would just randomize. So I swear to God, one night, I'll never forget this. One night, I'm sleeping. My brother and I had bunk beds. I was in the bottom bunk. He was in the top. We went to bed with Cartoon Network on. Not fucking around. Went to bed with Cartoon Network on. Woke up, Jerry Springer. I'm not shitting you. Woke up. I'm like, why the fuck is this on TV? Like, who did this? You know, like, Tooth Fairy pulling a prank on me? What the fuck happened? And then I gotta go tell my mom, like, hey, this show's on, and I know we're not supposed to be watching it, but we didn't do this. And she's like, yeah, they fucked up all the TV channels. And then I had to fucking kick through, and I have to re-find Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. And you know how hard that is with commercials on. Because there's no fucking guide. You know, like, yeah, whole fucking nightmare. Just curious if you saw Nick Wright talk about how if Chiefs moved to Kansas City, Kansas, he'd stop being a fan after Holmes retired. Is there beef between Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri? I don't live in Kansas City, and anytime I go, I typically go to the Missouri side and just drink in the Power and Light District. So I don't know if there's really beef between Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. I don't think so. There shouldn't be. Kansas City, Missouri is better. Kansas City, Kansas is more homey. But if they move the Chiefs from Missouri to Kansas, that just sounds like... That's not beef between Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. That's beef because he's Missouri and he doesn't like Kansas. The location that Arrowhead Stadium is in right now sucks donkey ass. I fucking hate where the stadium is because it's like, this is downtown KC and you have to drive like 5 miles, 10 miles out of town on a fucking interstate to get to the stadium. And it's so stupid. I much prefer the cities like St. Louis where the stadium is right there in the fucking city. I like that way better. So I'm all for them moving the stadium, and I hope they do. I don't give a shit where they move it, as long as it's closer to the actual stadium. Am I a Chiefs fan? Yes. Grew up in Kansas. Anyway, back to what we were talking about before. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Cartoon Network used to be 40, and forever it's been 33. I see you. They just changed channels for some reason. Cartoon Network was 10 and then 28. I explicitly remember 63, or it had to be 63. And I think 47 were the Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon numbers. Those were like the only two channels I fucked with when I was a kid. I didn't venture out past that. Tom from Toonami was black. I'd believe it. Who used cassettes? I am not old enough to use cassettes. My dad used cassettes. My dad had some old like Whitesnake cassettes laying around, and I think we had one vehicle old enough. His old white truck had a cassette player in it, so occasionally we'd listen to that. But we were fully aware those things were old and out of style. My first music listening device was a Walkman that did not have... It had track skip, but it didn't have skip prevention. So it was a Walkman, but if you bumped it, the song would like skip. Like it would like stop for a second and freeze. That was my first music listening device. A CD player, as it was called. Or Walkmans, because you could walk with them in that burrito. And then the headphones, which obviously there were no like AirPods. There weren't even really earbuds at this time. You put the fucking headphones on that went over top. And they weren't like cool Beats by Dre like they are now. They were fucking call center, you know. Technical support, how may I help you, without the microphone headsets. Did you ever use the cassette aux? Yes. I don't remember which vehicle, but one of my parents had a cassette player in it. But there was a small point in history, chat, where iPods had come out, or cell phones could hold music. But just enough cars still actually... They didn't make them anymore, but just enough cars still had cassette players in them. Where they actually made a cassette converter where you put a fake cassette in the car. Oh, it was my car. Oh, yeah, no, I drove an old car for a while when I lived in Missouri. It was my car that I was thinking of. But you put an old cassette player in, and then a cable ran out of it, and then that cable you plug into your iPhone or cell phone, and then through that, like, you basically just it was a converter. I was over here thinking, like, which one of my parents had that? I had that because my stepdad's grandma had a really, really old school OG Buick, Buick LeSabre, and I was driving a Buick LeSabre. The car was older than I was, for a couple years until I eventually bought my Challenger. But I did. I ran that for a while. I forgot entirely. I got in a wreck with that car the day I got Shadow. Because we had like an hour-and-a-half drive back, and he did fine for the first half of the trip, but by the end he was yapping a lot in his Carrier, just looking right at me. He just wanted out. And we stopped a few times. It's not like he had to go to the bathroom or anything. He was just sick of being in the car. And I stopped at a stoplight behind this old dude in a truck, and the light turned green. And I looked over at him who was yapping, and I swear the light was green for like 3 seconds, and the old guy in front of me was the only guy in front of me. And I, just because I was so distracted with him, took my foot off the brake to go forward while I was looking at him, because I know the light had been green for a while, so surely this guy had moved, and the guy hadn't moved yet. And basically my front right light, almost my bumper underneath my front right light, hit his ball hitch on the back of his truck. And he came out, and he just about tried to dick me before I think he realized either how poor I was or how white I was. Because this old dude got out of the... Because I hit him, right? I hit him. I hit the ball hitch of his truck. He had to have taken that hit and gone fucking... Because he was at a green light 4 seconds after it turned green and he hadn't moved yet. It's still my fault. That doesn't change anything. It was the accident was my fucking fault. But this old dude gets out of the truck, and he comes over to me, and I get out of my car, and I'm like, you know, you don't want to apologize immediately and admit fault, but there's really no way this wasn't my fucking fault. And I'm like, hey man, are you okay? You know, like, are you good? Because the first thing you do, you make sure everyone's all right in the accident or whatever. And at first he's doing this. At first he's like gripping his back, like doing the old man walk. He's like, he's like, you know what? And I felt it. Like, I think that it was washing over my face. Like, he's gonna try to get some fucking injury lawsuit out of me for this. And then I think he realized either, again, because I'm in Missouri, either A, how poor I was, or B, how white I was. And he was just like, you know what? I think I'll stretch it out. I should be okay. Let's pull over to the gas station and figure it out. And then it was just standard shit. Some cops came over and they're like, what happened? And I was like, well, I hit him, but my car's the only thing that took damage because I walked over to his truck and pulled his ball hitch out to make sure that I didn't like jam it in there, and the rest of his truck was fine. I literally only hit the ball hitch. So I was like, so it was my fuck up, but I'm the only one who's got to pay expenses, so we're fine. I don't even think he and I exchanged insurance because we didn't have to, because it was my fault, and I was the only one with damage, so I'll just pay for it. But we were good to go. Is a mixture of both? No, like the accident. That's not a mixture of both. I instinctively would have thought he moved at that point, but it doesn't matter if I thought he should have moved at that point or not, because if that light is green, it's not necessarily like good driving etiquette or even legal I don't know how legal it is, but he can stay parked there all fucking day. If I run into him, he can stay parked there for an hour. If I run into him an hour later, it's still my fault, you know? Like, if I had to choose between Rugrats in Paris or the Hey Arnold movie, I think I'm picking Rugrats in Paris because I never watched the Hey Arnold movie, or I don't remember the Hey Arnold movie. Oh, it was because I'm white and poor. Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. He saw the already old as shit car I had, and now it was beat. I hope I'm not getting sick. I shouldn't be getting sick. Are we playing a game? Oh yeah, we ran a poll. We ran a poll on if we were gonna do the bad idea thing tonight. We were gonna do the bad idea thing or not tonight. Well, chat, because you guys wanted. Hey, what up, tomorrow? Because you guys wanted the bad idea. I even tweeted out earlier. I'm thinking about making a string of bad decisions tonight. This was the first one. The second one was going to be hopping on call with Cinna, but she's busy and has a family or some shit. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck she does. And the third one was that while drinking, and I thought talking to my friends in Discord, but I have none. I've been in here for hours. I was going to play a little League of Legends for the first time in a while. Get back in the groove. Someone won a Grammy? Did you mean Granny? Her grandma kicking her ass right now? We should just leave angry messages telling them off. No, don't do that. She actually, she texted me, told me she was doing family stuff. Everyone else, I left very sad messages in the Discord. Nobody answered. I take that back. Rhyme answered. Rhyme answered and said hi. But by that time I had... I was in the Discord for a while. Before I started stream. And by a while, I mean like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, if that, probably less. And then right as I left to start stream, then Rhyme messaged. And then I didn't pop back in until after we finished the tier list. But then nobody showed up since. Forcing Yordles again? No, not TFT. League. I want to get on my Smurf account and I want to play Jungle Garen. Which is another bad decision, because you shouldn't be doing that, but it's really fun for me. When the match goes well, which is rarely, because you shouldn't go Jungle Garen, but... My question is, why is League of Legends a bad idea?